About 12 months ago, I received a call from the secretary of the Irish Women Lawyers Association, and she asked me would I be willing to accept an award as the Irish Woman Lawyer of the Year 2021. I was willing. I was amazed. I was surprised. But the irony of this story is that I had been offered this award not for the 35 years that I had spent as a practicing lawyer, not for becoming a recognised expert in my chosen field of law, not even for writing a book about my chosen field of law. No, I had been offered this award for something I had been doing for less than 3 months. Spool back for a moment to a short holiday myself and my partner took in Berlin in 2018. And during that holiday, I attended a film about women mountaineers in Afghanistan. I thought it sounded interesting. And through this attendance at the film, I came across an organisation called Ascend Athletics. It was a programme run by founded by a wonderful woman called Marina Legree from the US, who was working in Afghanistan. And she set up this programme to train young women in leadership through mountaineering, yoga, physical fitness, awareness of mental health, and service to the community. I stayed in touch with the organisation. And come August 2021, the emails became more and more desperate. The women of Ascend were supporting refugees who were coming into Kabul with the advance of the Taliban. And then came that fateful afternoon in August, on the 15th of August, when for so many women all over Afghanistan, their lives were flipped over, their dreams were smashed, and their education ended. The shock and the trauma of that is just astonishing for an entire population of women. Fast forward, I felt absolutely helpless. I wondered, what can I do? I said, I can do nothing. I even posted a Facebook remark saying, I feel so helpless. And then I took myself in hand and said, surely you can do something. And I woke up one morning and started a lobbying campaign. The result, if we fast forward again, is that this time last year, we welcomed to Ireland 20 young men from Afghanistan. A number of them are living in Dublin, a number of them are living on the west coast in Galway. Some of those young women are here this evening. We have among us a law graduate with superb results in her final exams, who's planning to study a master's. We have a young woman who's studying criminology with a view to taking a law degree. We have a young woman who got partway through her chemistry degree, and when I asked her at Christmas, where would you like to be? What would you like to be doing in 5 years' time? She said, I would like to be doing what you are doing. And I know she will be. We have a young woman who is studying IT and business with a view to setting up her own clothing business here in Ireland. And we also have with us this evening a young woman who is studying animation and is well on her way to fulfilling her dream to be an animation director. What we did was we formed an organisation. We lobbied the Irish government. We said, we will take these women into Ireland. We will accommodate them. We will help them resettle into Ireland. Please just let them in. And the Irish government, in its generosity, accepted our offer. The journey we've been on, all of us together, both Afghans and Irish, we now have assembled a community that we call Friends of Ascend. We have a community of volunteers, our committee, our young women. We have had so much fun together. We have here Julie, our friend Julie, who rang me up after she heard me on a drive time programme and said, hi, my name is Julie. I've worked with refugees before. Me and my friends are going to bring these women out on a trip every Saturday for as long as it takes. The fun days fish and chips, walks, trips to galleries. It's all happened, and it has just been a joy. What I have noticed and reflected on is what has sustained me and inspired me through this process. I was reared a Catholic in the late 60s, early 70s in Ireland. And as part of my little green catechism, I learnt about the virtues of faith, hope, and charity. And try as I did to achieve great piety, I just didn't get it. These words, while very highfalutin, meant nothing to me. But looking back, I see that belief, hope, and love have been the three pillars of the journey that all of us have been on together for the past year. When I say belief, I mean belief in myself, a belief I didn't have before, a belief in what could I achieve. I mean the belief I have had in other people who have come forward and volunteered and who have supported these young women. I mean the belief in our young women themselves. I mean the belief in the realization of our vision. That belief has kept me going. And hope. I've often wondered about the role of hope. Is it just an illusion? I was listening to a BBC programme recently, and a wonderful Buddhist nun called Sister Diep Nyem was talking about the role of hope. And she said, once we accept the reality and the constancy of change, that is what keeps hope alive. There are times when I know that our women are going through enormous pain, missing their families. Imagine being worried that your family didn't have enough to eat, that your brother was arrested and beaten up, that your ethnic community, the Hazaras, were being bombed in their mosques and their schools, where death was at every corner and risk was at every corner, where your sisters have had to stop going to school and to university. That is a situation where hope can be very, very hard to hold on to. There have been times when I have wept with my new friends. And we have said, I actually learned from one of them what to say it. Boyat odimvar bashin. Apparently I'm not saying it with a Hazara accent. I'd say bashin if I was saying it with a Hazara accent. It means we must have hope. We must hold on to hope. And I see how important that is when all the other chips are down. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, love. And yes, I'm coming out of the closet. I'm speaking unashamedly about love. Somebody I really respect challenged me very early on in this process and said, Andrea, love is a very strong word to use. And I said, no, that is the word I want to use because I know that what I am driven by and what I feel here and what I am committed to is love. Another great Buddhist teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, supported me in this when I opened a book of his one day and found that love includes taking responsibility for the beloved. Love requires patience. Love requires forgiveness. There are times when I have been forgiven for overstepping the mark, for being impatient, for screwing up. I hope that's a word you can use in TED. And there are times when I have needed to be patient, and I have found extraordinary love. My life has expanded enormously. And yes, there are responsibilities. And yes, there are challenges. And yes, the bittersweet experience of being a refugee will never leave our women. For every achievement here, there is the great sorrow that one's family and friends are not here to share it with one. However, what I did learn was that you don't need to worry first about the spreadsheets and the strategy. It's okay to be led by the heart. And we can do things we never thought ourselves capable of if we make that commitment. If we dare to believe in what we want to achieve. If we dare to hope when the chips are down. And if we dare to be led by love. Thank you.